The Dragon Grin Guild's banner snapped crisply in the arcane winds, secure within its celestial cradle. High above the fractured arena, a colossal clock of pure energy ticked down, its golden hands marking the final hour of the match. A tense silence settled over their position, a collective breath held before the storm. Sinju, his draconic armor shimmering like 1,000 captured stars, surveyed the enemy fortress across the chasm. The air around him seemed to hum with anticipation. He drew his blade, its edge singing a low, hungry note. "Time for the counterattack," he declared, his voice a low rumble that resonated with the very stones of their fortress. A wave of determined cheers rose from the guild members, their spirits ignited by their leader's confidence. The first phase was complete. Now came the true test. Orion, his form wreathed in subtle gravitational distortions, floated high above the battlefield, his eyes scanning the enemy's defenses with an analytical intensity. He was their eye in the sky, a living map of the intricate dangers that lay ahead. "Their main gate is protected by a chronomantic barrier," he reported, his voice echoing telepathically in their minds. "It's designed to repel anything moving at a normal velocity. A direct assault will be thrown back." Below, Leo adjusted his gauntlets, a feral grin spreading across his face. Beside him, Lyra stretched, her muscles coiling like powerful springs. "So we don't move at normal speed," Leo shot back, a challenging glint in his eyes. A shared look passed between the siblings. In perfect synchrony, they burst forward, their bodies enveloped in a crackling aura of raw kinetic energy. They became living projectiles, a blur of motion that defied the eye, moving too fast for the time-based barrier to even register their approach. With a deafening boom that shook the arena, they smashed through the shimmering chronomantic field, leaving a gaping, smoking hole in their wake. The breach sent a shockwave of panic through the enemy ranks. Defenders clad in the silver and crimson of their guild scrambled to seal the opening, their panicked shouts echoing across the courtyard. But Sinju was ready. With a fluid gesture, he channeled his elemental mastery, and a dozen spectral clones of himself erupted into existence. A Sinju of roaring flame, another of biting frost, and a third crackling with untamed storm energy charged into the fray. The clones were perfect diversions, engaging the defenders with a bewildering array of elemental attacks. Fireballs detonated against ice shields, and lightning arcs crisscrossed the courtyard, creating a maelstrom of beautiful, deadly chaos. The defenders were overwhelmed, their formation breaking as they struggled to combat the multifaceted assault. Amid this perfectly orchestrated confusion, Lynn, their master infiltrator, took her cue. She pressed a hand against the fortress wall, and her form dissolved into the shadows, melting into the very fabric of the darkness, unseen and unheard as she slipped deeper into the enemy's heart. High above, Orion turned his focus from the main gate to the inner sanctum. His eyes narrowed as he located the automated turrets guarding the enemy's flag room. With a precise, calculated gesture, he wove a localized gravity well, a pocket of immense density that crushed the turret's targeting systems and power cores. The menacing red lights of the sentinels flickered and died. "Lynn, the path is clear," Orion's voice cut through the ether. "Go!" Deep within the fortress, Lynn reformed from the shadows just long enough to see the inert turrets. Without a moment's hesitation, she allowed her body to become intangible again. Phasing directly through the final reinforced wall of the flag room, there it was, the enemy's flag, a glowing standard of pulsating energy. She wrapped her hands around its staff, the raw power tingling against her skin, and dissolved back into the shadows, just as the first of the enemy team realized the nature of the diversion and turned toward their sanctum. "I have it!" Lynn's triumphant whisper echoed in the minds of her guildmates. Outside, Sinju was locked in a desperate melee, his blade a blur as he parried blows from 3 separate opponents. Hearing Lynn's signal, he roared, a sound of pure draconic power, and ripped a single iridescent scale from his own cloak. It flared with a light so intense it was painful to behold. "Hold on," he yelled, his voice cutting through the din of battle. He slammed the glowing scale into the ground, triggering a massive, uncontrolled warp. Space itself tore open as the spell pulled Lynn and the stolen flag from the heart of the enemy base, yanking them through the non-space between dimensions directly to Sinju's side. With a final, blinding flash that momentarily bleached all color from the arena, they both teleported, reappearing atop their own flag platform. As their feet touched solid ground, the great clock in the sky struck 0, its final chime echoing across the silent battlefield. Victory for the Dragon Grin Guild.